Hi, welcome to the Business Expert Series with views and opinions on topical issues facing business owners right now. Today, we are with Pavan Kirpalani from Bright Beans Accountancy. How are you doing, Pavan?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, Mike. Great to be here. How are you?
Yeah, really well. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today. So if you could start things off and just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Pavan Kirpalani. I'm the founder of Bright Beans Accountancy. We are a small accountancy practice based in East London. Funny, I was having a conversation with a coach yesterday, and he said, one thing you want to do is avoid introducing yourself as an accountant. So I'm trying to figure out ways to ways around that. But I was thinking of this, and maybe you can tell me whether it sounds good. How about we are your brown envelope managers?
Okay.
What do you think? I know this is an interview. It's
That's all right. But you've hit me with a question, which is all fair. Do people still have brown envelopes these days? Is everything electronic? Does that's the question. I'll answer your question with a question.
Yeah, so this is a play upon it's because we're dealing with matured businesses. Of course, there's a huge pool of entrepreneurs and startups as well, but it's people who have been through the process. They know the trials and tribulations of dealing with HMRC and all of the stress involved. So we have clients who say, yeah, we're sending out our envelopes to you. You open it and tell us what's in it. So and that just came to me. But in a nutshell, accountancy practice serving small to medium businesses. We handle everything from accounts, payroll, management accounting, and also providing advice. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. So what would you say in the field that you're in, accountancy, that are the top 3 mistakes? Someone said this the other day, perhaps not mistakes, challenges that business owners face when it comes to accountancy?
Yeah, sure. I think apart from the usual suspects of, keep your records and receipts right and do your regular bookkeeping and things like that. I think the one thing I would say to business owners is probably focus more on growing the business rather than say, talking to Dave down at the pub and trying to find loopholes and hacks of trying to avoid tax. I think, if you have a professional on board, you have somebody as a sounding board to bounce off any questions that you may have. But here's the funny thing I find is that people go out and speak to other business owners, and some people are doing things within the remit of taxation, and they're celebrating it. But then what happens is they don't come around and say when things go wrong. If they were to receive the brown envelope and don't know how to manage it, they're not going to celebrate it in the pub, are they? So I would say the one thing is focus on growing the business, looking at your cash flows regularly. You want to be at a point where, let's say, ideal point, you would say have an estimate of how much cash you'll have in the bank account, say Easter, so you know what to do with your family. You don't want to be in a space where I don't know if I'm going to have enough money, and I don't know if I have so it's you want to be on top of your finances.
Future looking and not backward looking.
Absolutely. Yes.
So is that something that you see is common then when people come to you, and do you try and educate them in the right way?
Traditionally accounting is an afterthought. It's always an end of year exercise, and here you go, these are all my receipts and payments, you do what you have to do and just give me the tax bill. But now we're seeing new business owners, they understand the power of technology and real-time information, where you can use software to predict along with analysis as to what your tax bill is going to be. And you want to be in a position where you set aside the money for the tax bill so you can do what you have to do on the business, focus on growing the business and time for yourself.
Great stuff. A couple of good points in there. Do you see business owners then being more intelligent with technology then? I suppose intelligent in terms of ways that they operate their business and their cash in their business because of the software and stuff like that that's come about. Has it helped you as an accountant?
Yeah, absolutely. It's freed up so much time. And to give you a visual of what this looks like, so imagine, driving a vehicle without a dashboard.
Yeah.
You don't know how much fuel you have left, you don't know how much what speed you're driving at, and things like that. So when you have this accounting dashboard, you and your accountant are speaking on the same language, you're
Mhm.
referring to the same data, and that really helps business owners to know where they are at with their business, rather than going in blind and just
Yeah.
hoping that the tax bill is X amount, or
Come the end of the
whatever.
year that it's all okay. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff.
So that's where we come in. We use technology to be able to have that common platform with clients, so they understand. They leave the technical stuff to us, and they are on top of what they're good at.
Key numbers. Brilliant. Thanks for sharing that. So, through your eyes as an accountant, what is most likely to affect the economy over the next year or so that you can sort of forecast and predict at the moment?
Well, this is a big one with so much going on post
Mm.
Brexit, post COVID. I think it's all with the government with regard to interest rates. How it's going to pan out, where the support's going to come in from, the war, of course, energy crisis, all of this impacting the economy. And I think it's one of those things. Inter-country trade agreements that could also impact. Of course, we've done with Brexit now, but nothing to say that arrangements or agreements can't be made in the following year to suit multiple countries. So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting time for businesses to see what pans out, especially who are dealing with EU and the rest of the world.
Great. So, would you say that you see business owners being able to adapt to these circumstances, and ultimately you can navigate them with the right mindset and the right, we talk about cash flow and things like that, and making decisions ahead of time? Is that something that you see happening, or is it just different types of people making different decisions, and your clients come to you with different problems subject to how they manage their business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we touched upon this, is how accountants neglect the future aspect of taxation. It's so important to know where the business is going. There's so many things the business is planned, whether it's hiring staff, firing staff, moving, expanding their operations overseas, and all of this you need to factor in when you're planning your business finances and taxation. And this is what we do as trained chartered management accountants, is we are trained to look at the future as well, and not just look at the past data, because there's not much you can do from the past apart from learn from it. It's only with the future you can work towards a goal. And being a coach yourself, you know the importance of planning and working towards a goal.
Yeah, massively. You need to know where you're going and work back from there. You touched upon there about learning. You mentioned learning, so that leads us into the next question nicely about yourself as a business owner as well as an accountant. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've had in your time as a business owner to date? If there's one that you can pick out, it may morph into two or three, but if there's one key one that stands out for you, feel free to share.
Yeah, sure. I think there's a lot of content, social media, books, journals, whatever it is to consume out there. So many gurus will tell you what to do, how to do, and 6 figures in 6 months, or whatever it is they plan, or some being more realistic, looking at long term. I think the one thing I've learned is that you will not know until you do it yourself. Give you my example. When I started out, all very good well-wishers of mine saying, don't do bookkeeping, it's below you. Don't do payroll, it's too complicated. Don't do taxation, it's a high-risk strategy. International taxation is what I do as well. And my question to them was, if I don't do all of this, then how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to, it's one of those things you have to get to grips with. Use your experience and have the right intentions for your client, and in order to be able to serve them. So I think, if I have to summarize it, is to take action, is to try it out. Whatever you see is to keep trying, is to test the market as much as possible. And there's a lot of testing you can do in your mind, and you can, go on forever, but use the market, and that's the best kind of feedback you'll get, is what I'll say to business owners. Yeah.
Find your own path and your own sort of journey with it.
Absolutely.
You say there's a hell of a lot of gurus and shiny bright objects out there and promises of gold at the end of rainbows and things like that. But yeah, you're right. Definitely. Ultimately, it's up to you to sort of find your own path and go out and have a go. Thank you.
Yeah, taking action, I think, to summarize, is one of the things, is that the biggest value you'll get is from that.
That's it. You'll get feedback, you'll get communication back from whatever action you take, and you can learn from that.
Yeah, exactly. My mom actually has this saying. She says, either you'll earn from it or you'll learn from it.
Say that again. You'll either earn from it or you learn from it. Learn. Yeah, brilliant. I like it. Yeah, good phrase. I might take that one. Use that one.
Sure.
Thank you for that. So what inspires you to do what you do, Pavan? And could it be the people that you work with, for example, friends, family, anything that you read, listen to?
Yeah, I think it's really getting people to open up and to be that person who they can trust, and share their thought process. And, I see so many people, they have a different outlook and a different impression online or in the social side of things, but it's a completely different story when it comes to their finances. And I'm here, having that conversation with them, with all that trust, and be able to advise them correctly as to what they need to do. And I think it's quite empowering and quite a responsibility as well. So I quite enjoy being that person within their circle of trust, and being able to guide them. And when you see the end result is that when they take action based on what you've suggested, it's a good feeling.
Excellent. Nice sort of relationship building there, and the good feelings that come from the success of doing that. Good stuff. So lastly, in terms of the impact that you would like to have on your business community and the people that you work with, so either in your local area or further afield, what kind of impact do you want to have with the work that you do? And you touched on it there, I suppose, with your relationship building, and leaving an impression there. Yeah,
I think traditionally, professional services like accounting, legal, and medical side of things are looked at as very I don't think snobbish is the word, but areas where you think twice before reaching out. And I want to be in a space where anyone can pick up the phone, 5-minute conversation. What do you think? And if it's a quick answer, although I must say there's very rarely a situation, that there's a quick response, but at least some sort of guidance, and, not to formalize everything so much and complicate things. Sometimes there are quick questions. So to be in that space where people are able to share and just bounce off where they feel what they need to do. I think that's what I want to give back, and that's what I do on a daily basis. I say to all my prospects or clients, anytime you have anything, just drop me a line. I'm here, just end of the phone call. Yeah.
Excellent. Nice open door policy to get your advice. Pavan, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best with your business.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah.